Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to your weekly nuggets. It's time for a follow-up episode, because it's been a while. And I figure I gotta pump out a couple of these for my listeners. So here we go. Where are we gonna jump in? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna talk about today, guys? I'm gonna talk about something nobody really likes to talk about. Well, actually, no. Scratch that. Everybody loves to discuss or show off, but they don't really want to talk about the truth on loot. That's right. Your boy Danny is going to tackle loot today. We're going to fucking talk about loot. It is the carrot on the stick in all MMOs. It is pretty much the carrot on the stick in most video games in general. Loot's the reward, man. It's the belt. It's the pendant. It's the trophy. It's the jacket. It's that, man. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the title. It's the purse. It's the prize money. It's what you get. It's what you win for putting yourself through the ordeal of raiding. Everybody loves loot. Everybody loves loot, and everybody hates loot. If you don't think you hate loot, think again. Think all the times you didn't win that piece of gear you saw somebody else get, and you thought to yourself, I hate that fucking guy. No, you don't hate him. You hate the way loot works. So let's talk about loot. First, let's go over some common nomenclature. People talk about eye level. Thinking eye level's all that. All that. Well, listen, let me tell you about eye level. Eye level only goes so far as the itemization is involved with a specific piece of gear. Period. Moving on. Best in slot. BIS. Everyone, oh shit, that's my best in slot, homie. And they need it, and they argue about who's his best slot for, and blah 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 blah. Best in slot fucking fell off the fucking table as what the term actually means on the day they invented reforging. Period. The end. Don't talk to me about best in slot unless you actually had to compile a list of best in slot back in the day. You didn't. You fucking didn't. If you did, you know what I'm talking about. But if you currently think that there is such thing as true best in slot, think the fuck again. There is no such thing as true best in slot the way it was in the past. That term has changed definition. Moving on. That one piece of gear gonna make me better. No, gear doesn't make you better. Skill makes you better. You can have all the gear in the world and still fucking suck. Period. The end. So, first of all, let me dig in to the first thing, eye level. Eye level is only as important as its itemization. I currently have this trinket. It's 540 eye level. And I have two 530 trinkets, a 502 trinket, 490. I got trinkets galore. Yo, trinkets galore. Just take a look at my bag. Can you count how many fucking trinkets are in there? Damn near a whole sack full of trinkets if you look. If you looked at my bank, in my other bank, you would see that as well. I have carrying right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got about 10 trinkets on me right now. Pretty cool, huh? And I use these trinkets to boss dependent, etc., etc. So I have this one trinket here, and I'll show it to you. It's 540. It's a flex trinket. It's higher eye level than any of my other trinkets. It's a situational trinket. Stamina's not my big thing. Who gives a fuck about the stamina when you're running normals? It reduces damage by 29% of area of effect. Okay, if there's a big, huge AoE burst, that might be a nice trinket to equip for the boss fight, pop it when I need it. Or I could just, rally cry demo banner. And cover everybody. So to me, that trinket's a piece of shit. Honestly, looking at it, I think it's a piece of shit trinket until I read somewhere that it is a must for fight X. I haven't. It's a piece of shit trinket. I have it in my bags. I'm never going to equip the fucking thing, probably. It fucking sucks. Put that eye level, right? Put that eye level's higher. So let's talk about eye level. Alright. So, we got these new timeless gears. People are going crazy. You get your Burden of Eternity. You click your little token, and bada boom, bada bing, you get a piece of gear. Alright, so I recently did one, and I did it to a helm. I meant to do it for tanking. What a waste of a burden, right? But I did it for DPS. So I got this actually really good looking helmet, itemized wise, and I'm showing a helmet which is probably the only good piece of gear to upgrade with them, in my opinion anyway, because there is no helms with more sockets than you can get, and you get as many sockets on every helm as you get on any helm. You get your meta and you get your one colored socket, and that's cool. That's all it is. So now I'm going to look at my DPS helm here that I made, and I got a 535 hit crit. This is great itemization for arms, fury, whatever. It's great itemization, except I'm swimming in hit. Now, what helmet I do have is a 502 with hit and haste. Well, we know the haste sucks. However, my 4-piece bonus, it makes my skull banner a recklessness. It's just another huge DPS cooldown. It creates a bigger DPS cooldown than banner already is for me. I am not breaking that set for 33 eye level points. I don't care how much critical strike it gives me, which is my number 1 secondary stat. I don't care how much more strength, which is my number 1 primary stat, it gives me. It will never give me 35% chance to crit on my skull banner. The only thing that's going to replace that piece of gear is tier. And probably not until I get tier bonuses because of itemization. Alright, and now I got really lucky on that helmet I made, because say I get my 2-piece tier 16 and it's not one of them's not the helm, I might switch to this helm because it is itemized better. It will give me more crit. However, as it stands, I'm not going to swap those pieces of gear. I don't care what it does to my eye level. It will not increase my DPS. It will over a sustainable period of time. Like my sustained would be higher with that helm just slightly. However, my burst effect would be next to nil in comparison, because my skull banner now, along with recklessness, guarantees that every special attack I do is critical strike. Guarantees them. And believe me, there's good and bad RNG out there. And if I didn't have that 4-piece, there would be plenty of things that didn't crit when I needed them to crit to give myself the burst. So I could replace the helmet, maybe up my standalone DPS, like my target dummy DPS, if you will, non-cooldown DPS. However, it would lessen my cooldown DPS to such a degree that it would have negative overall effects. Okay, and I had to map this out a little bit in my head before even talking about it, because I wanted to see if that was a better piece. I'm just saying. Just saying. So sometimes that gear isn't as good, and I see people a lot of times running around with all this 535 timeless gear, and I wonder, did you replace your set bonuses? Did you replace gear from top, like, because it had 7 points more or something like that? Because seriously, most of your top gear upgraded to 530 is way better than your timeless gear at 535. Just saying that right there. That takes care of the eye level discussion. All right. Sometimes a higher eye level does mean a greater piece of gear. Sometimes it actually doesn't mean anything if it's itemized properly. Okay, that's the bottom line. And that's just the truth. It's just the truth. Best in slot. I briefly said best in slot no longer exists, at least not in the way the term was original. Best in slot back in the day honestly had to do with the fact that, like, we have our caps, right? Everyone's got their caps to reach, your hit, expertise, etc., etc. We had those in the past without reforging. So that literally meant you had to go find the proper pieces of gear to get yourself capped and not too much overcapped or undercapped or whatnot, while providing your secondary benefits and stats. So you literally was a list for every class and spec in the game. Like, if you got each and every single one of these pieces of gear and you equip them all, you're the most badass bastard in your class, because you now have all the proper itemization. That doesn't exist anymore due to reforging. So when you talk about best in slot, dude, that's my best in slot. The one rule from back then that still remains today about that best in slot is that it's not best in slot unless you have every other piece of best in slot. And best in slot is less meaningful today because of reforging. You don't care that it doesn't have, say you needed hit and your secondary is crit. You don't care that the new piece of gear you got was hit and crit, or rather hit and haste, because you can just reforge the haste into the crit and get your hit. You know what I mean? And conversely, you're not under hit cap or whatever. Like, let's say you had a piece of hitting something and you got something that didn't have hit on it, so you got crit mastery and you had a hit crit piece. Well, reforge the mastery into hit. Boom, problem solved. Now you're capped. Problem solved. So best in slot doesn't exist anymore. I hate hearing that term nowadays. Oh, that's my... Some list told me that's my best in slot. Well, can you explain to me why it's best in slot? Because if you can't explain to me why a piece of gear is best in slot for you, then you don't deserve to call it best in slot. You don't deserve to talk about best in slot. If you don't actually understand things, you have no business talking about things. Because when you talk about things you don't understand or know, you're an ignoramus. So when you're in my range, you're like, dude, I need that more than you because it's my best in slot. You had best be prepared to tell me why it's your best in slot, mathematically. Mathematically. I understand numbers. Speak to me the numbers. Because you push that best in slot shit on me, I'm going to pull your card. Even if you're right, I'm going to pull your fucking card. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Best in slot hardly exists anymore due to reforging. Period. The end. Don't tell me a best in slot list. About the only thing you gotta worry about best in slot for anybody is weapons and shields and trinkets. Those are the only items worth mentioning as best in slot. Honestly, I think we could really narrow it down to shields and trinkets because we know tanks who use shields. There's 2 classes in the fucking game that use shields at all, pretty much. Or dependent on those shields. You got a dodge parry shield and a hit mastery shield. Well, guess what? Now Pallies and warriors want different types of shield. Now one is for a warrior, one is for a pally, and they are best in slot, and there is reasons for it. But it's got nothing to do with the armor on the shield. It's got to do with the stats on the shield. You give me a parry dodge shield, and I'm gonna bust the nut. You give Dage a fucking haste mastery shield if they existed, or a mastery cap shield. He's gonna be happy. Even if he values haste more than mastery, he's still gonna be happy. Mastery has a huge benefit for him. Mastery has a huge benefit for me if I stacked it, but I don't stack it. So the dodge and parry has a better benefit. So who wants what shield? That's the only time. That's one of the only arguments I want to hear. The only argument I want to hear maybe over a trinket. When somebody says that is my best in slot trinket, all right. I might not ask you to explain yourself because I might know you're right. However, you tell me a fucking ring is your best in slot fucking ring, and you can't mathematically tell me why, I swear I should slap you across your fucking face. Because obviously you don't understand best in slot. And how that it barely exists anymore due to reforging. Alright. Now we got through that. Now let's talk about etiquette with loot. This is really rather important. You know, I'm going to need to get me a cup of coffee and come back to etiquette. Alright. I got myself a cup of coffee, y'all. So let's talk about etiquette. This is probably more for a personal thing towards my own raid team than anything. We have simple loot rules. Need if it's not upgrade for your main spec, greed if it's off spec, otherwise you pass so we can DE and put the shit in the bank. Real simple. What's not so simple is etiquette. What's appropriate? So I'm going to dig right in here. There's a certain point of being aware of who's in direct competition for your gear with you and what gear they actually have versus what you have. A loot rule I've used in the past, or rather guilds I've been in used in the past, and something I really like is loot council. Loot council, and along the same lines of loot council that I've used, is highest upgrade gets it. Biggest upgrade wins, which is a real simple way of doing loot council. Is highest upgrade wins, and loot council is basically looking at how I would do it in a 10-man. I would basically myself and one other person, or 2 other people, maybe 3 tops, right? 3 people tops, myself and 2 included, would discuss who gets what loot based upon who gets the biggest upgrade, best in slot list, all that corny shit that I kind of bashed against already. And the reason is to spread the love within your raid. And I've always been a very big fan of the biggest upgrade gets it. So let's just, for the sake of shits and giggles, you've got 2 hunters in your group. You down a boss and a bow drops. Now they both need that bow, right? But let's lay it out. One's got, let's say, a 522 from the past tier. So we're gonna call them Hunter A. Hunter B has the flex version of the bow that just dropped. Who do you think should get the piece of gear? Should get this bow under loot council or highest upgrade. Generally, the person with the 522 is going to get the 553, and the reason being is that it's a bigger upgrade to that person, and which is going to help the guild out more than a minor upgrade to the other person. Do you understand? So there's a whole lot of be aware of what's going on around you and who's in direct competition and what people fucking have, and that's why, because you can be that totally cool guy in the guild. It's like, dude, I don't need that ball as much as you, so you take the ball. My co-tank and I kind of have a thing worked out where we kind of pass shit off to each other. We just do. It's just, dude, you haven't got, and I'm going to say it right now, trust me, the next piece of usable gear for him that drops off a boss, he's getting it. I ain't even going to fight him for it. I have upgraded gear faster than him all along. So, just saying, my boy Dage getting the next piece of gear thrown his way. That drops in normal. It's just the way it's going to happen. And that's what I want people to do. Be more cognizant of who's competing for what and who it is the biggest upgrade for. There's names I can name who have been man up and done these things and been totally cool, and those that just loot whore it. And that brings me on to really what I want. I can't stand fucking loot whores. Alright, do you know what a loot whore is? Does anybody know what a loot whore is? You will do. Loot whore is somebody who will do anything for a piece of fucking loot. Anything. Or they're so happy every time they get an upgrade, they gotta spam fucking chat with it all day long. So every new person that logs on gets spammed. I got this today. And amazingly enough, in my experience, the biggest loot whores in the world are not raiders. It's the LFR heroes that link their LFR fucking gear in your chats, whichever chat, your guild chat, your whispered chat, your fucking trade chat. These motherfuckers so happy to get their piece of shit fucking welfare epic motherfucker, they gonna show the motherfucking world. I fucking hate that shit. I'm serious, cause first and foremost, what I haven't even discussed yet in this, and I'm gonna talk about it right motherfucking now, is the purpose of loot. The purpose. Here's something fucking crazy that y'all might not believe. The purpose of loot is for the next tier. All the gear you collected in Throne of Thunder was to help you get started in Siege of Orgrimmar. Going from one tier to the next, no raider needs an LFR fucking bridge gap at all if you're coming from one raid to the next, because you got the gear the new raid is tuned around you having. That's what gear is for. So when you run LFR, it's for the next step, right? I shouldn't even say it's for the next tier. It's for the next step in progression. So, oh, well, I just hit level 90 and we're halfway through this expansion, so now I gotta do a bunch of crap. Now, yeah, you go into LFR for gear. This is the reason you go to LFR for gear. You get the gear in LFR, pad your numbers, pad your eye level, and then go do some raiding. Some real raiding. So LFR gears to get you into normal. Normal gears to get you through heroic. Heroic gear, if you're heroic geared, normals are a joke. You breeze through the next normal and start your heroics at week 2. That's what loot is for. Loot is not to walk around showing it off because you fucking got it. It's to be used for the next step in progression. So what you're like, but Danny, casuals should be happy about their gear too. Yeah, I don't want to take that away from them, but I don't need their LFR shit shoved down my fucking throat every goddamn day, all goddamn day long, because I don't shove my fucking epic loot down their fucking throats. I don't walk around calling people noobs, learn to play, and shit like that. I really don't. I don't give a flying fuck what other people do in this game at all. You barely ever see me in Trade Channel unless somebody says something so stupid I can't help but to comment. That whole, raiders are elitist. I fucking hate that, because you're being elitist by that very, very sentiment that you have, that pigeonholing you put a whole group of people in. Does elitism exist? Can you even define elitism? Elitists are exclusive. Understand, they belong to their little elite club and they don't want nobody else to be able to join. So if you ain't even already a member, you ain't never gonna join. That's what an elitist is. An elitist isn't somebody that puts reasonable demands upon people who do group content with them, who do group things together. Having some small stipulations to guarantee the quality, to control the quality of the environment and the team sport is not being elitist. Being elitist is, I don't raid because raiders are all elitist. Because you think you belong in some special little club of casuals that run at just fucking LFRs and LFDs all day long, and you think you have some sort of exclusive fucking group of people, and you're gonna look down on anybody that don't play your way. I don't look down on you for being casual and saying I can't commit to a raid schedule or something like that. I don't look down on you for it. I look down on you when you start calling me the elitist. When you start talking bad about the way in which I enjoy my game. Because that's what you do. When you're the ultra casual, pimping, flossing their fucking flex gear, or not even their fucking LFR gear, flossing in that shit like you're some sort of fucking good raider, and to me it's the very antithesis. It really is. It is completely bogus. Truth is, more raiders want to be more inclusive. I want more people to raid, so I have a better pool of recruits when I lose somebody. I don't want to be exclusive, I want to be inclusive. I mean, I just got done recording an episode. What do I love about Flex? You can bring anybody. People can come and go as they motherfucking please. So that makes me elitist? No, I'm trying to be inclusive. You think I'm being elitist and you're a casual joining my fucking Flex? Talking about fucking why you hate raiders and ooh, real raid, I'll never touch that shit. Motherfucker, you're in Flex, that is a real raid, bitch. It does require you to pay the fuck attention, motherfucker. You will incur my wrath in Flex. Has yet to happen, but you can. I want you to think about that shit next time you're about to show off your fucking shit gear, yo. Think about that. Motherfuckers are doing harder content than you, watching you fucking floss your fucking bullshit gear. Shit content we wouldn't even... you could say I'm a bit of an elitist because I say things like I don't run LFRs and I hate LFRs and blah blah blah, but there's reasons for it. The community sucks. The rewards are shitty comparative to what I'm going to get normal anyway, and it really, really feels bad to get a piece of gear and the same day get the same piece of gear, just a better version that later on that night. It sucks. Because you got to do all this shit like enchants and gems and reforges, and now you got to do that shit all over again. It's just another fucking tier of the same fucking gear, slightly less efficient. You know what? Fuck it. If LFR is truly to see content, you run LFR truly to see the content, you don't need no rewards. You don't need any loot. And that's what this whole topic about is loot. You don't need it. You don't need it if all you run is LFR. There isn't a single piece of gear in this world that you need to run LFR. With the exception of the eye level requirement. Which means, okay, go to the Timeless Isle, farm yourself some 496s and go ahead and flex, or LFR to your fucking heart's content. But you don't need gear from it. You don't. You don't need the loot. The loot is to fucking get you in the next step. If you're not going to get in the next step, don't ever link your fucking gear to me. Serious. I wish this show reached the people I'm actually fucking talking to. Because I am sick of seeing your fucking gear. You know who you are out there. You know who you are linking your LFR gear to me every day. You know who you are. Just know I hate you. I hate what you represent. And above all, I hate the fact you get gear that I farm the fuck out of normals for, and you get that shit in LFR and think you're fucking pimping. Little fucking dick. Learn to fucking play. Every casual I know has got every fucking class level capped already. Every casual I personally know, got almost every class level capped. Now I'm the raider, the hardcore player. How many do I have level capped? 3. One of which is raid ready. 2 of which are arguably not, but I'd still raid on them because I'm fucking damn good. Just think about it. I know a casual got motherfucking every class level capped and better geared than most of my tunes but one. But I'm the elitist, I'm the hardcore, I'm the one that sits in his basement all day playing World of Warcraft, living in his parents' basement with zits and fat and shit. Check back, I run my own motherfucking company, I'm physically good motherfucking shape. Ladies, if you ever want to do some laundry, I got a washboard stomach. let's see, I log on pretty much just to raid. Maybe I do some shit like this Nuggets. Maybe I make some videos from what I fraps. Whatever. It is not time consuming. I spend tops 20 hours a week. 20 hours a week tops. I know motherfuckers play 20 hours a day. Bet I ain't lying. I ain't lying. They play 12 to 16, sometimes 20 hours in a single motherfucking day and call themselves casual. How the fuck you get off calling yourself casual when you play that many hours? You don't. The truth is you're a hardcore shit player is what you are. You're hardcore practice squad, nigga. Fuck, sorry I drop M-bombs. Sometimes I do. Seriously. Seriously. You don't need no loot. Loot is for pushing forward. Loot is for pushing forward, man. You want your DPS to get that upgrade to push that boss that you've been wiping that 2% for. In my group knows all about 2% wipes. And only needing somebody to just step up fucking 500 DPS more. Through the course of the fight and it's down. And homie get an upgrade and it happens. That's what the loot's for. And being cognizant of that shit. That's the important thing about loot, is being cognizant of who needs what and who really going to benefit the most. And trust me, you know, I've said this before, and it's a cliche for a reason, but you know, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, right? Right? Well, here's what they don't tell you. A chain may only be as strong as its weakest link, but a chain should only be as weak as its strongest. That's what they don't say. That's the cliche that ain't cliched. That a chain should never be weaker than its strongest link. So if a chain is only strong as its weakest link, but shouldn't be weaker than its strongest link, what does that tell you? All them links gotta be the same. So when you got half your raid out gearing the other half of your raid, and you wondering why that dude's low on the meter, or why that dude take a little more damage, or why that healer ain't healing as fast, or whatever, maybe you should start sharing some love. You know what I mean? And trust me, I'm a biggest fan of loot. I love my loot. I show my loot off too, but it's once or to very specific people. If I put it in guild chat, it's usually, hey, yo, so-and-so, check this out. I got this today. Or, guys, I got my 2-piece today, or something like that. And I'm not saying that to be an elitist or something stupid like that, or, you know, show off what I got and you don't. It's to show my team, like, yo, I got this. This is going to help me be a better tank. Everybody should rejoice. Like, that's when I want to know. Let me know when you get your fucking 2-piece and 4-piece. That's when it's important to me. Don't show me that ring you got that was a 3-point fucking upgrade. Like, who gives a fuck about that shit? Seriously. Who the fuck gives a fuck? You tell me, guys. You tell me. Am I wrong in all this? So we're talking about the chain, right? So you got a weak link in your raid. Maybe you should make that link stronger. Maybe you should be like, dude, I can craft this belt for myself for a minor upgrade, or I can craft this belt for this dude in my run who has like no gear yet. Which do you think is better? Just saying. Oh, you guys tell me. Am I right or wrong on loot? You tell me. Whatever.